Case statements. Nim also supports case statements, which are like switches in other languages. There are several things to note here. You can use strings in the switch statements. Sets and ranges or ordinal types are also usable. Okay, we didn't learn about that. Ranges and sets. Sets is interesting. Case statements, like most things, are actually expressions. It is required that every possible case be covered. Okay, so let's skim through that. Maybe we'll find something new. So here we just go through different possible words. Interesting, they're indenting it here. Well, in other cases, they weren't indenting that. Let's see what Visual Studio does. If we'll try to do something like, let's do let, hello, hello. Okay, so we have the variable in that case, hello, off. See, it doesn't want to indent it, as if it was optional. But I need that comma there, right? Hello will be echo. Hi, off, nope. Okay, and else discard, right? So we can do it that way or that way. So that colon here doesn't matter. That's interesting. I guess they maybe had it required at some point, they removed it, but for backwards compatibility, it's like that. Oh yeah, of course this needs to be indented. So one thing that I wanted to add to this stream is that maybe instead of me sometimes speculating, how does it work? Doesn't work that way. What's the question here? I won't be going through the documentation specifically on the stream, but I thought that maybe we could just utilize AI because we live in a time of AIs, and therefore maybe we could get something out of it. So let me quickly get a window with some AI. Let's get this guy here. So let's say I'm learning Nim language, right? To prime it a little bit. I'm trying to understand case statements. Why are both of those correct in Nim? And we're gonna give it a code block, and let's give it the code. Right? We have specify on, right? That works. And then we're gonna say with colon. So let's see over here. And I'm it's fine, right? And then we have the third one, which is this. So the question is, can we do the variable indentation without this? Oh, that's fine too. So without and indent. So we're gonna just take that form like this and paste it. Let's see if it picks up on the difference and explains it. Okay, so the case statement is flexible in terms of syntax, allowing different styles of writing. So we just have that, and it just explains that we have it like that. Okay, so all of those variations are considered correct in Nim. The language allows flexibility in terms of whether to use a colon and indented branches to personal preference. Okay, so it truly doesn't matter. Okay, good to know. I will probably prefer without it here and like that, because off already suggests that we're in a case, so why add yet another indentation? This should be enough, at least in my opinion. Okay, sure, let's move on then. What other case we have? We have a case of the character H. So we have a character, and we can, yes, specify multiple options of this to, okay, so we can set a range from character 127 to 255. It's interesting that with slash you can just literally type in a number. Why not? I like it this way. I guess this way we could avoid putting in some random character here that, you know, let's say isn't displayed or something. This is very clear. You don't have to do any conversions, so I like that. Maybe it's also in different languages, but I just never used it. And then we have some procedure. Oh, so look at that. So we have result, case of that number. And basically this whole thing is being assigned to a result. So we have assignment instead of assigning, you know, result equals this, result equals that, result equals whatever. We do that. Awesome. And this is very interesting. Low, and then we have literally int as integer. It's interesting how we can pass integer as a type. So maybe low is some kind of built-in procedure that takes a type as in, and this is lowest possible value returned by integer. To -1 is all negative, 0 will be 0, and 1 to basically the maximum integer. Okay, sure. Let's go back to AI. Let's use it while we have it. There we go. So what about this code? Paste it. Explain how low and high work here. Maybe we'll learn a little bit of a lingo behind the scenes. So yes, they are built-in procedures in them that are used to determine the minimum and maximum values of ordinal type, respectively. Let's break the code down. Okay, takes an integer, yeah. Result, we all know that. Low, okay, of low. Return, so low in returns the minimum value of the integer type. Okay, and this will be the maximum value. The low and high procedure is useful. It express ranges in a more generic and flexible manner. I like it, that you can actually use it in case statement. And something tells me this is like inline or something where it's during compilation time something happens. So are low and high calculated during compile time? Because if that would be the case, that would be absolutely awesome. Yes, they are compile time procedures that operate on ordinal types. Okay, and we have T as a type. Okay, and you can use it in const, because at some point where we were trying to do some more fancy stuff in the different cases, we had problems where like, oh, this compiler doesn't know this value ahead of time. So yes, these are compile time. So how do you define a compile time procedures? Are they special in a way, or just make sure that nothing weird happens? In NIM, you can define the compile time procedures using the procedure proc keyword along with the compile time pragma. Compile time procedures are executed during the compilation process and can be used to perform computation or generate code at compile time. Okay, so we just add this and that's it. And I guess that would make sure that whatever we're doing here doesn't do any IO or other stuff. Okay, can be called from other compile time contexts. Oh, so that means that we won't be able to call that function in non-compile time. Okay, yeah, they can take blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't care about the rest. Example of compile time procedure that computes the square of a number. Okay. So basically, whenever you do that, oh, that's so nice. It'll be pre-compiled for you. So again, your code runs faster, at least as long as you're doing some compile time stuff. Awesome. So is it possible to write a proc that can be used both during compile time, assigning consts, etc., and during runtime? Because that would be fun if we could just make one single square and, you know, whenever we call const, it will just be precompiled, while whenever we do it somewhere in some dynamic code, it would be done. Oh, okay, yes, it's possible to write that. We just need to specify there's no side effects. Okay, and this will be fine, and this will be fine. So I guess whenever it's for sure that the procedure doesn't cause any side effects, compiler knows like, okay, this will be safe to actually run during compile time because we won't be writing to drive or, you know, waiting for some input. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Claude. Let's move on.